All right. Good afternoon. My name is Ming and I'm the founder of Leasy App. Allow me to introduce Leasy App in a very quick way. All right. So let's talk about the trend. Bill splitting is on the rise. These are very recent articles, right? This year or last year. So half of the payment apps users are now willing to split the bill thanks to the global inflation. And of course, men and women also they've been debating whether should they split the bill during a date. For those people who actually have to split the bill, about 1/3 of them are not willing to split it evenly. That means they only want to pay what they have consumed, not to share with others. So the problem, right, is actually from a user perspective. When do you split the bill? We split the bill when we eat our meals with our colleagues, when we travel with our buddies, when we have house bills to share with our housemates, and of course when we go for recreational activities with our friends and families. And of course, bill splitting is challenging because it's a very daunting, tedious task. And they always have that friend who always forget to settle up, right? And tracking who has paid, who haven't paid is actually quite difficult. And of course, there are different type of bills requires different type of splitter. So as a payment app, there is also some issues, right, that we are trying to solve here. So as a payment app, you hope that you build the app, you want people to use it to make payment as frequent as possible, and hopefully they trust you enough to make large purchases. And of course, you will want to keep the money inside your bank instead of flowing out. So, but in reality, yes, due to pandemic, a lot of people are using cashless payments, right? And then of course, people are sharing also, people are trusting it more. But there's a captive market leakage if you don't do your bill splitting properly. They will be forced to go to the third-party app, and the chances of them coming back is lesser already. So that represents a captive market leakage if you don't settle your bill splitting properly. So our solution is an integrated bill splitter enabled with proprietary receipt scanning technology. So basically, we are OCR, optical character recognition enabled, where you can scan the receipt and then you extract out the figure out for you so that you don't have to key in yourself. And of course, it's also designed to split all types of bills in any types of scenario. We also have an auto reminder to help people who always forget to settle up. And of course, if you, just like me, have problems deciding where to eat every day, then you should try our food place randomizer. With our integration with PayNet, okay, we actually allow seamless payment settlement. After you split the bill, you can request your money easily just by supplying the phone number. Why personal finance super app? So although we are now a bill splitter, but our ultimate goal is to become a personal finance super app where we help users to split the bill, remove the awkwardness of splitting the bill and the tediousness of splitting the bill, and also recording budget and record your expenses to keep track to your budget. So it all started with the origin story where I spent 6 years of my life trying to record every single expenses that I have made. So I have a bunch of receipts in my house. So it's a tedious work. It requires a lot of financial discipline involved. So I hope that with Leasy, we are able to actually cover all sort of their personal finance use cases, starting from bill splitting all the way to expense recording and budget and monitoring. Our management team, me, myself, I'm the CEO. I was a self-taught coder. I was doing corporate investments for a few years, and then I got a first-class honors in chemical engineering in London, and I was a Shell scholar. Tiffany is our head of marketing. Her bread and butter is always been marketing, 6 years of it, online and offline as well. She's also in the Monash University Dean's List. So our achievements so far, our growth have been doubling every month as of today, as of now. And then we also managed to win the PayNet Accelerator program last year. And this year, we're very fortunate to be invited to be part of the MDEC Founders Grindstone. So our media mentions for so far, we have been very, very lucky to have featured or mentioned by all these mainstream medias. So why escalating e-receipt now? So basically, e-receipt is one of the things that we put at the back of our pipeline, but we're going to bring it forward. And simply because, you know, the tax authority in Malaysia is escalating e-invoicing for all the Malaysia taxpayers. So we believe this is the right time to enter this market, right, where we help to become the e-invoice repository and also help to actually facilitate the transfer of receipt from merchants to the users. So there's a lot of opportunity available right here. This is exciting time for us, and there's a this is a government-driven compliance requirement. So sales shouldn't be that hard. And of course, it will eventually become an essential complement to our existing payment system. So last view, okay, we want to become a personal finance super app to help people to split money, get their money back easily, save money, monitor their budget, make good financial decisions, and there are many more other futuristic features. So the ask is 0.64 million US dollar, 60% will be spent on technology, 20% will be spent on marketing, and the remaining 20% will be on operation and admin.
Right. Vikesh, you want to go first?
Yeah. So we've seen a lot of bill splitting apps in the industry, right? What made you think we needed another one? That I think this has also been baked into some of the newer apps like MAEs, Maybank, and some of the wallets are trying to do this too. So what is the gap in the market that calls for yet another one to exist?
Yeah, I believe personal finance is a never dry topic. It's always an evergreen topic. You know, everybody always look forward to personal finance articles and trying to optimize their personal one, right? So of course, number one is our design. We are designed to be very efficient and also cover all types of scenario. So like our most popular competitor, they actually have two different apps to settle two different bills. So you need to download two apps. For ours, is all designed in one. And also we offer OCR for free. So optical character recognition, scan it for free. So that will actually massively save users time, and it's actually very intuitive if you try to use it, right? But it might not be as simple as our competitors, right? But ours, once you get a hang of it, it's actually very efficient, right? We actually focus on the Asian efficiency side rather than the simplicity.
I mean, the key is nobody wants
Mm.
to key things in, right? So from the OCR's perspective, is that something you're calling an existing one, or did you build your own? How reliant on is this when in Malaysia we could eat in a fancy restaurant to something by the side of a street that's it's not going to have a receipt, it's not going to have a bill, or it's going to just be scribblings written on a piece of paper. So how does the OCR handle this variety of scenarios?
Okay, so you'll be surprised. Actually, to us, it's not surprised, but maybe some of them surprised that actually, even if they write in on paper handwriting, we are able to scan them.
Including the ones who write
Handwriting.
the bill in Mandarin?
Yes, yes.
You know,
Mandarin not really, because we take the number, we don't take the words.
Okay. So they cannot just like write, and then one final number like a Chinese seafood restaurant, right? You need them to itemize each one, and then
Yeah, they will itemize, they put the number, so we will be able to detect the numbers.
okay, then they
Even
have to say
handwriting.
okay.
Yes, that's how special it is. And then of course, it's a very proprietary part of our app as well. Yeah.
So this OCR is using something from the market. Did you say that?
It's a mix of both in the market and also our own algorithm. It's a mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there some big data play AI thing that you're learning based on the receipts to build a better receipt scanner for this local context? Is that something there?
Yeah, there is a algorithm that I can't disclose what it is, but it's built from scratch by us. Yeah.
Okay. But your bigger plan, you said you want to be a personal finance
Yes.
management.
Now that's another thing that what makes us different from the rest of the bill splitter, because we are looking at it as an ecosystem rather than just a bill splitter as a tool, but we want to put a collection of tools that is integrated to each other so that you can have a very seamless experience. And basically the goal is very simple. Whoever who wants to manage their finance should be able to do it very easily by us, because personally I like to manage personal finance a lot. So but at the same time, I'm a very lazy guy, so I try my best to actually look at how do we intuitively make sure we complete the flow with less work.
I mean, we always find that people with money loves to budget. If people who don't have money, there's nothing to budget. So why would they use a personal finance management app when they don't have much of personal finances? And that's generally all of us in Malaysia, right? So we always find that confusing. But let me just ask you the question: how do you make money in this product?
Okay, so it's something that we don't have, we have so far we haven't actually put inside the slides, but basically we also offer merchant services to sustain ourselves. So basically, if you need a payment gateway, or if you need a credit card terminal, or if you need to create a link to send a link to your customer to make payment on their side, right? So we actually offer that services as well. That's how we are able to sustain ourselves. And on top of that, we also receive a grant to actually sustain ourselves as well from PayNet.
Okay. And how are you getting users on board? How do you advertise? You spend money, it's organic. Any interesting channels you have?
We both use organic and not organic. So basically, currently we target on the low-hanging fruits, which are people who already have intent to actually download a bill splitter. So we actually focus on search at the moment.
Okay. Any partnerships that you have apart from PayNet?
Currently, we are still looking for one. So if you have somebody to recommend, we always welcome. We actually wanting to have more partners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you raised funds before this?
We bootstrap. So it's my own money, and of course, with the grant that I received from PayNet, that's how we are sustaining at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
And the merchant services, we get the commission from there.
All right, cool. On to you, Paul.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, like Vikesh have said, I mean, this is probably not the first that we have seen in the market. So my question would be like, what's your, go-to market strategy in competing with all these bigger brands, yeah, so like GrabPay, in their system, they already like boost all this. Like, what stops them from just releasing this feature? And since everybody is there, what's your strategy there?
Yeah. So based on our current research, yes, it's an essential part of a payment system, right? And a lot of, I think most of them actually have their own inbuilt bill splitter. But of course, the difference is that the bill splitter that they have is actually usually is more like payment requester within their own ecosystem. Meaning that you have to do a calculation elsewhere. If let's say, for example, if you go to Nando's sometimes you have quarter chicken, some people order quarter chicken with sides, some people order chicken with drinks, some people with some sharing portion among only select few people in the table, So with all these scenarios, they still have to rely on spreadsheets or manual calculator. So for ours, we are actually aiming to cater from the beginning all the way to the payment settlement side. So whereas most of the payment apps out there, they tell you that you just tell me how much I need to request this person. So the calculation, you have to do it yourself. But ours is specializing in but that is the most difficult part, which is to split the bill, the manual calculation of splitting the bill. That's the most difficult part. And for theirs, they handle up beyond after that. For ours, we focus on making the process easier. So we are like the upstream to them, right? Our app is definitely programmed in a very complicated manner, but this is so that we can give very good, very seamless user experience to our user, right? So it's
you have your own in-house tech team or you outsource?
No, I mean, I always believe that if we are in tech company, we have to develop it ourselves, right? I mean, your own product, so you have to know everything about it. Rather than outsource it. Yeah.
So what's your early traction looking like right now? Like how many users and revenue, how much have you earned? And what are you doing to get these numbers? And what are you going to do to increase the numbers, let's say like double in 12 months time? What are your plans?
So I think currently our user tractions is about doubling every month. Okay, more than double actually is about 250%, right?
And
so
the numbers will be
so the exact number, of course, we will disclose it for those serious potential investors. Right? So because it's a live platform, so so I hope you understand, right? So okay, so in terms of the plan, we aim to actually release more features to be beyond just the bill splitter within the next 12 months or so. But the most exciting driver that we can see is the e-receipt, where I think we are here to prepare early to basically to capture the trend, right? I mean, the wind is there, so we're just gonna capture it and go along, right? And actually, we had this discussion earlier with have a quick discussion on this feature earlier with PayNet as well last time. So this is something that I think we all know that this is coming. So I think it's a good timing for us.
Right. Now I'm gonna ask a bit a few more questions about your team. So you said you're bootstrapping and you have an in-house tech team. So how many are you right now? And what's your monthly burn to keep this team together?
Yeah. So currently, me and my partner, okay, so the two of us, and then but we also have some senior developers who work on a freelance basis with us. They are my ex-colleagues basically. Right, who was very nice and kind and give us a very good rate, right? So our monthly overhead is actually quite low until the point that you won't believe it. Yeah, but yeah, so it's actually relatively very low. Because we try, as a bootstrapper, we just try to save money as much as we can, but at the same time finding effectively market our app, right? So, but I will say I'm incredibly blessed to have their support.
Right.
Right.
And any of your team had worked in a startup before?
Most of them, they work in the corporate big companies, so they are good in what they are doing, right? So in terms of entrepreneurship, this is where I come in and try to shape the whole mindset and culture. Yeah.
And is this your first venture, or this has been?
Yes.
This is your first venture.
So I used to work in big corporates until I decided that, you know what, let's try something while you're young.
Yes, absolutely. Never try, never fail, never know.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got my first series of questions asked. Bikash, you want to take over?
Yeah, so the fundraise, you're asking for 3 million ringgit. It's quite substantial. What was the main usage of funds? Technology?
Yeah, technology. So basically, we want to build the system for e-receipts. So because it should be able to cater for our aim, although like Malaysia has the wind that's helping us, that is beneficial to us, but we aim to be more than just that, like targeting, for example, market like Vietnam, because they already have their e-receipts since last year. Yeah, and then of course, Singapore has been also encouraging e-invoicing. Also, we aim to build an app that, because Leasy itself is a global app, BillSplitter is a global app. So we aim to actually, although some of our features like our integration with PayNet is actually very localized in Malaysia, but we aim to build the e-invoicing to capture the Asian market, or even better, the Europe market, because they also have this a very, very mature system in place already. So we
Does
basically
this funding also take you towards becoming a PFM, or this is solely only for receipts?
We want to cater for receipts, invoice, and those credit note, debit note, all those things. Yeah. So it's a very generic fit a lot of things in that platform, not just e-invoice alone. Because we realized that actually you need to have multiple different type of documents inside. Yeah.
And is all this being built in-house?
Yes, it will be built in-house. That's why we need quite a substantial sum. We don't outsource our
But you're saying your burn rate was pretty low, right? So if initial team members have the ability to build, then why do you need to raise so much to build and not just build it on your own as much as possible?
I think it's a matter of speed. With this money, I can effectively hire them in as a full-time rather than doing giving them as a freelance.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the difference. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Got it. So I'm not too sure about the Malaysian context in terms of this personal finance, but because will you need regulatory compliances for this?
If it's just basically collecting data this way, no. But what we saw that only way money was made in all these PFMs was on the lending part. When you become a PFM, you make money when you lend, and that's regulatory needs itself. But if it's everything else, wow, it's such a saturated market. Like, it's going to be very hard.
Okay, right, got it. Yeah, and have you done any groundwork with that? Sorry, what's your name?
Ming Yan.
Ming Yan. Sorry, yeah, Ming Yan. In terms of like, you said that you wanted to start with receipts and then you want to go into PFM, but like, what are some of the groundwork have you done to sort of like plan towards that? Because obviously, like what Bikash has shared, I mean, if lending is one of the out thing that you need to do to survive, like have you understood the regulatory framework and the compliances that you need to adhere to do this? And yep.
Okay, so a lot of these apps out there, they focus a lot on the downstream. Let's divide them to upstream and downstream. Okay, downstream is where the payment transactions are made. Okay, so basically you're lending, you basically get the money, and after that you have to pay back, right? If you talk about insurance, then you about closing the deal for the insurance, so or paying your bills. Those are the so-called to me, I define it as downstream. So I focus more on the upstream side, basically capturing the creating tools that capture the upstream use cases, right? Then after that, once I capture the upstream, then I get the chance to actually flow them into the downstream to whoever friendly party that I want to. So that is kind of approach that we are looking at. So we don't directly compete in the sense that we're going to compete direct lending and everything. I think they have done a good job. We instead of competing with them, I think we can collaborate with them. We can actually send them business over, but they have, of course, we have to work out some deals, right, from our customers. So we capture what the user actually wants. How to make their life easier. That is our whole team, right? Then after who we decide, then that one is up to how friendly they are to us. So basically, that's kind of difference.
And have you started talking to all these big players, these big boys?
Not the big players, because I believe that once that after a certain level, then it will be easier to negotiate with them. Right. Before a certain level, if you negotiate, they say yeah. Then after that, you never know. You either got stolen the next, right? So you have to be in the right timing for everything.
I understand.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all from me. Any further more question from you, Bikash?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ming Yan, for your time.
Thank you so much, Sarah, Paul, and Bikash. Really appreciate your time, and looking forward to see you in the conference. Right. Yeah. All right. Bye.